On goods in at the moment, we've seen a lot of changes from the way that the organisation has changed. We've put things in place such as where good and bad pallets go. We've got workstations now that are down on the bays as well, which are a lot more structured in where you need to have things placed, calculators, catalogues, so that everything is there where the team member needs it to be to do their job first time at the right time.
General health and safety, cleanliness of the place is a lot more organised now. What's coming on the base is getting tipped a lot quicker. There's less downtime where people are waiting around for containers to come on the base. Everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing and what is expected of them.
Well, how we receive the containers in from the gatehouse, we now have a log that the clerks write down, so we know that if they've said they've delivered and we know that they've actually arrived. Communication between the shunters and the clerks and how we get containers onto the bays.
I've been involved in the changes from the start on dispatch. Originally we used to have bars and stuff, the load restraint bars. They'd be all over the place, you'd leave them on the floor, trip hazards. Now we actually have holders to hold them in, so easier access for your bags, you find it straight away. You've also got the workstation, much more organised, everything's where you want it to be, easy to find, and just generally a lot easier to work.
On dispatch, how it used to be, let's say it was firefighting. There was no organisation, no planning, so every day you come into not knowing where you were. With the changes what have been involved, we know exactly where we are, we know what we need to achieve, and we can plan from that. So we don't spend half the shift firefighting of where we should have been to get to where we need to be.
The main differences are the team have been part of making the changes on the department. In doing so, they've been helping to kind of make the jobs a lot easier for themselves. We've had audits brought in so that when they're going to use the power pallet trucks, they're readily available in good condition and they're checked on a shift-by-shift basis for them. Along the same lines, we have bay checks, which again at the start of each shift, each team member checks their own bays to make sure there's no damage, everything's in working order. It's just so that, just to make sure that all the equipment is available at the right time for them.
I find the PDCA management process useful because we have regular meetings weekly to discuss improvements to the business processes. This also talks about what the teams do, the team members, and also we can talk to the management about where we are with the improvements and if we need their support.
Well, we've gone from being in a position where we used to struggle to kind of put structure together, plans for making improvements. We had a lot of people on site with a lot of ideas and we were very, very good at creating those ideas. We were never actually very good at executing them and actually making improvements. The good point about the Plan, Do, Check, Act is that you can come up with a structured plan for the improvements, follow it all the way through to monitoring it and acting on any anomalies that arise after that. So it's really, really good at making the ideas and the improvements stick.
We have a mixed reaction. We've got some people that have been here for quite a long time, and we had a change programme about 2 or 3 years ago where we had both good and bad points and people sort of ingrained in those processes. I think what we're trying to do now is unlearn some of those things we did a few years ago and now try and embed some of the new practices. Some people love it because it's nice to be managed, have a nice clean environment, be respect about what they do every day. Others find it difficult because for years they've done the same thing repetitively, so find change hard to adapt to. So let's try and break those cultural changes in our business. It won't happen overnight, and see how it will be the thing that drives it either. Other things need to support that mechanism as well.
My working day is a lot different nowadays. There's a lot more structure and discipline involved in it. The biggest challenge we've got at the minute is sustainment of the continuous improvement journey and the continuous improvement changes that we're doing. So majority of my day now is spent on the shop floor talking to people, conformance conversations, speaking to team members, team leaders, seeing any issues that I can help with. And to be honest, I wouldn't go back to how it was before at the minute. It's a lot more organised.
My role used to be pretty freewheeling. Typically I'd come in and then decide how I could spend my time most effectively towards the operation. What I do now is I tend to lead, which means that the front line is protected and given priority. Whilst I still have that sort of discretion, my days are much more structured. In large parts of it are taken up now with structured meetings around CI and supporting the operation, supporting the front line so that they get priority, and I think it's freed up about a day a week of management time.